welcome back to our show, your show, Let's Talk Stocks. In studio with us this morning is Mr. Rohan Brown, and he's the Managing Director for Jamaica Recycles. Of course, welcome to the show, Sir Brown.
Thank you.
Jamaica Recycles, talk to me about that company. I mean, how long have you been about, and what do you really do?
Well, recycling, as you know, is, I guess most persons will be familiar with the word. Maybe its meaning a little bit less so. But we have been involved in recycling for the last 10 years as a company. Myself, I would have been involved with it in another 5 years in another company as well. So I've been in the business for over 15 years. But this company, Jamaica Recycles, for the last 10 years. And recycling essentially is really just the reusing and repurposing of material that would normally be in our dumps, in our drains. So we're talking about paper, plastic bottles. So in a nutshell, that's it. It has been a labor of love over the last 10 years. But as I said, the industry is fledgling. It's a growing one. And that's why we are in it for the long haul.
Recycling. Do we, as a people, Jamaica, well, first of all, before we go there, your company is local or international? Because most of the recycling is at...
Okay, well, we're a locally registered company, right? But our ownership structure is partly overseas and local. And that basically is a strategic move on our part to ensure that those that have been there and done that and have the structures in place and the marketing in place can certainly move. No need to reinvent the wheel. And that has proven, very good for us over the years.
As a people, though, Jamaicans, we talk about recycling. We speak to the positives of it, but we don't do it. How do you find that business for you in this culture? How difficult or easy it is for you to get in and get business going and get people convinced that recycling is a way of life, it's a business?
Yes. Nielsen, unfortunately, recycling has been paid a lip service in Jamaica for a very long time. So it's more about, yes, it's a nice word to use, and it shows that you care about the environment, but as it were, when it gets down to the nuts and bolts about making a decision to recycle, that has been like pulling teeth. However, there has been, as it relates more to the general public, if they have the facilities and the infrastructure to, let me say, assist them, whether it be in the form of a bin or proximity to the locations, you will find that they will be more involved in recycling. However, as it is for plastic bottles now, if there is not some financial incentive to motivate or to encourage them, then you will find that they basically do not participate in it. As it is though for businesses, which have been, essentially that has been our lifeblood over the years. We started out, so we have the major companies that we recycle with, along with, and if I may say, some of them have been with us for years. The Red Stripes, the Ryan Nevios, the Wysinkos, the Grace Kennedys. So these companies have seen it fit to, be a part of this exercise. And not to mention, we are in over approximately 30 hotels on the North Coast and counting. They see the value. So recycling generally will take off and will be adopted when businesses and by extension I hope individuals see the value in it to them.
So here's the thing, and listening to you, I hear that businesses get it, and maybe because they have so much more that they would have had to dispose of. I mean, so much waste, for want of a better term. And it would maybe cost them to dispose of it. Maybe recycling makes it easier for them. So they then see the value to them. Plus they're into the corporate social responsibility of caring for the environment and so on. But Isn't that ironic? Because it's people that run these businesses. So how come the businesses get it but the people don't?
When you look at a company, for example, they make a decision on the basis of a cost-benefit approach. I mean, what is the value to this company to have recycling done? And in most cases, as I said, that's the value proposition they look at. And that's why maybe 90% of our operation is with businesses. Okay. Now, for us to, no, those said persons, as I said, maybe at home, but they don't practice recycling, right? Because the systems are not in place to accommodate and to facilitate the recycling initiative. And that is essentially where we hope in the long run, or no, not in the long run, very soon, to engage government and government agencies, solid waste, to ensure that at least we can work closer together to ensure that we can start changing the habits, right? And the cultural practices. And that will ensure at the end of the day that you not only talk it, you not only talk the talk, but you walk the walk.
Government policy will help?
Oh, certainly in most of the well-established countries that are way ahead in recycling, government plays a critical role in ensuring that there are systems in place and that private initiatives put systems in place to recover those recyclables that essentially are out there and that are damaging the environment.
When we look at this, the government a couple of years ago banned plastic bags, and you know what we saw was a total removal of anything bags. Not even paper bags were being supplied. You had to carry your own bag. Is it that they need to, when we're setting policies, maybe as government, we need to go much further than just a ban on something, but to develop a full-scale policy to say, if you use this, dispose of it in this way. Dispose of this in this way. Get it to the recycle center over here. Separate your waste and so on. Is it that it is now time that we get to that place?
Yes, I believe that there has to be a more comprehensive approach to, in terms of sustainability and environmental preservation, there has to be, as it were, a different approach to even how we source. You know, so you're talking about from the production side of things, so what is the end result of what is going to happen? Because at the end of the day, it's about damaging the environment, creating problems at the landfill. But if in the whole design of, say, a particular packaging material, and I know that that is where the world is going now, they basically look to ensure that whatever content goes into that manufacturing of that packaging material, that in fact it will be recyclable, right? So there are hundreds of different packaging material that are recyclable. However, they are not in the volumes for it to be economically done. So what you find happening now is that plastic bottles, as you know, is in huge volumes. But then there are packaging material that are plastic related and so on that are in also very large, but those material are not easily recyclable, and there are different grades of material. PET, which is mainly for drinks bottles, it's consistent. So although it's significant, it is a lot more recyclable. So sometimes the whole design of the packaging material to determine that, listen, at the end of the day, if it doesn't have a recycling option, then maybe you should be looking to, you know, discourage the importation of it. But you know, at the end of the day, it's a tough process because there is costs and there is ease of use and so on that